everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Welcome to another ranking video. I've been doing a lot of these today. I'm gonna just speed run through this real quick. I'm up visiting my family right now. I've been making a series of videos ranking different knife genres in my collection, mostly by lock. And while I was up here, there's this box of horrible junk knives that are left over from my teenage years that is up here at my parents' place. Every once in a while, I dump knives that I've reviewed over the years that I don't want to keep in this box. It's been a couple years since I've done a dumping, but you know, these knives are technically part of my collection, so we're going to add them to the ranking video. Today we're doing lockbacks. We're doing this ranking. Goodbye, Stegosaurus. We're doing this ranking from S to F. We're not doing an E tier on these. I did an E tier for fixed blades. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. Today we're doing backlocks. S tier, the superior. These are the best of the best, like cream of the crop. You will not find a better backlock than this. A tier, amazing. If you own one of these, you should be proud. These are knives that make a splash. B tier, these are knives that are above average. These are good knives. These are knives that I recommend a lot, especially like new people. These are knives that I think are very, very solid. Again, above average. C, average, right down the middle. These are knives that are fine. If I see someone using one of these knives, I'll probably be like, okay, yeah, you know, you've got a decent knife. These are knives. C is the last tier that I would recommend you buy knives from. And C, knives in C tier are knives that I could recommend, or sometimes I won't recommend them. They're just, you know, they're average. They're okay. They're not going to hurt you. They're not bad. They just don't do anything that sets them apart. D tier, below average. These are knives that I would say stay away from. Avoid these knives. If you happen to have one, like it has just appeared in your possession, like whatever, it might be an okay knife, but I would say mainly stay away from D tier knives. F tier, worst of the worst. These are knives that might hurt you. These are knives that are absolute garbage. F, just horrible. Stay away at all costs. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Backlocks. Oh boy, we're going to start with this little backlock right here. This is from Prima. Stainless, made in British Hong Kong. Interesting. I think this knife belonged to a relative of mine. Look how can you see how the back spring is like sinking in? It's like popping out back here. Yeah, man, that blade just wiggles all over the place. Yeah, we're gonna put this in F tier. This thing is no way, no. Fit and finish is absolutely terrible. That knife could be like 110 years old. I don't know. Let's look at this Ozark. Excuse you. This little Ozark Trail gift tin that I received several years ago from someone came with this knife, which is actually a lockback. I kind of like the vibe of this knife. It's very smooth, by the way. No pod clip or anything. Thumb studs. You can kind of flick it open. Maybe not. Roll it open. Very hand filling. You know, good drop point blade. You know, cheap knife. You know, this is not very expensive. I'm gonna give this a C tier. You know, mainly because of the price, right? You know, C tier. It's a fine knife. Okay, next up. Could I fold this without depressing the lock? No, lockbacks are actually kind of strong, but I can like wiggle this blade in every way I want. F tier. That might actually be below F tier. That thing's pretty tragic. F tier. All right, next up. Here we have like a, this isn't a Buck 110 knockoff really. This is more of like a Uncle Henry Hunter knockoff. This is from Mossy Oak. It's fine. The materials are nothing to brag about. Fit and finish is like just barely acceptable. We'll give it C tier. Yeah, we'll give it C tier. I can go for that. That's not too bad. Okay, next up, I've got 2 of these, so we'll do them together. Stainless Pakistan. Is the other one stainless Pakistan as well? Yep. They are slightly different designs. But these are, there's a ton of these around. Ooh. Yeah, these are both F tier knives. Oh gosh. F tier. Man, backlock ranking videos going brutal. Okay, yeah, those are atrocious. All right, next, let's grab this. I actually think this is the last backlock. Oh no, I've got another one. Horrible centering. Everything's plastic. Even the bolsters and the butt caps, not metal. Those are plastic. This is made by a company called Sabre, spelled the British way. Sabre. Sabre. Actually not a bad looking little like pin knife, gentleman's knife. You got a nice, drop point blade there. This whole thing just like shakes around though. Patent pending stainless china. Patent pending, and look, you can actually see where the metallic like coating is chipping off and exposing the disgust underneath. Oh gosh, that blade is oh, and it's like bent like crazy. What the hell? I remember this knife. I was given this knife by the grandmother of one of my sister's friends when I was like 12. Oh my gosh, what on earth did I do to this thing? Oh my gosh, that blade is like butter. Oh my goodness, and I just bent it kind of back into shape with my hand. What on earth? F tier. Next knife. I think the last knife for backlocks. Thank heavens. This knife right here with a lanyard made by my dad. This is a knife that I bought on my 15th birthday, I think. This is from Frost Cutlery. Blade play all over the place, pin construction. This thing just feels horrible in hand. I've got some this edge looks like it's almost serrated from how chewed up it is. Gross. I do have good memories of this knife. I bought this knife, my dad, my grandpa, and I were running errands in Colorado. It just happened to be around my birthday, and we went to this little store, and I bought this. My dad said, "Hey, give me that." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, just give it to me. I'll give it to you later." So I gave it to him, and then that night, it shows up with the lanyard on it, which I thought was pretty cool. I do like the ergos. The ergos are actually not that bad. The knife itself, though, is pretty trash. We're going to have to put this in D tier. I don't think this is as bad as the other knives in F tier. It's not nearly as bad. But it is pretty. It is pretty bad. On most other lists, that would have been an F tier knife. But oh my gosh, backlocks are not represented today. Like, we have seen some absolutely heinous things happening today. But that's it. That was short. So we have a C tier, a D tier, or we have 2 C tier knives, a D tier knife, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 F tiers. Let's go look at my other backlocks. I do have some good ones, I promise. Alrighty, guys, let's finish this up. I'm back south, and I hope I have all the rest of my backlocks. Now, I'm pretty sure this is all of them. We'll see. We could be surprised. But I am fairly positive that this time around, we've got all the rest of my backlocks. Okay, got to dig some of them out here. Why didn't I already have everything dug out? Stop asking questions. What do you think this is? A professional channel where we actually know what we're doing? No. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's just jump right in. Let's start with this one, actually. SOG. This is the Magnadot folder. I reviewed this knife somewhat recently, like a year ago or so, something like that. This knife actually belonged to my great-grandfather, and he gave this knife to me. We're going to see a lot more knives that are, kind of gift knives. So this knife is very special to me. But what do I think about the knife itself? Yeah, it has some good stuff. The ergos are good, but overall, it's very, very plain. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. Like the lockback is pretty solid. 7CR steel, you're gonna have to like carrying it on the belt if you carry this, but I'm gonna give it C tier. That seems fair to me. That's pretty middle of the road. And speaking of SOGs, I used to have a SOG. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember, but I'll throw it up on the screen here. That was a backlock, and I couldn't find it. I think I might have given it away. In fact, I'm fairly positive I do remember giving it away. But in case I didn't, that knife would actually probably be a B tier knife, because those are like $9, $10, and they're not like amazing, but they're pretty freaking solid for the price. So I think I put that one in B tier, to be completely honest. All right, let's keep moving here. Let's go ahead and open up these little packs. We might get rained on today. That'd be fun, I guess. Okay. Where do we want to go next? Here, we'll get this guy next. This is an old timer. It's not called a bear. What is this? I can't remember the name. It starts with a B. Old timer something. Again, I'll write it on the screen. This is a cool knife. This is a really cool knife. Very classic, simple knife. Very cheap. These are very, very affordable. Nothing special on the steel. I think it's also 7CR. I do like the bolstered look and everything. Very comfortable. This has a tail lock. Very solid, actually. This is a good little knife. Slices well. Again, nothing fancy, but these are pretty affordable. And for what they are, I like them. I think I'm going to put this in B tier. It's a good little knife for what it is. Looking at this, you can already know what your experience with this knife is going to be. If you're fine with carrying a knife without a pocket clip, doing the two-hand open, having a tail lock, if you're okay with that, you'll probably really enjoy this knife and you'll like the price that it comes in at. So, B tier. Okay, moving on. Let's go ahead and grab this knife next, actually. This is the Camillus Classic. You can see here I've added a quick stud, so it is now one-hand opening. This knife was given to me by Terry from Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. Really, really awesome channel. I love this knife a lot. There's a lot of cool things about this knife. We have a 440 blade here, drop point, hollow grind, very slicey, super comfortable. I love how the blade comes basically all the way to your knuckle here, and you still have a finger guard, but the way it kind of leans forward gets you very close to the edge. Again, tail lock. We've got micarta here, pins and bolster construction. We do have a pocket clip, which is kind of cool. It's a thick knife, but that makes it very, very hand-filling, very good ergonomically. I like this knife a lot. The fit and finish on it is a little bit rough. The actual performance is good. The knife itself slices very, very well, but the fit and finish is a little rough. I like the design a lot. I like the performance. But fit and finish is going to keep it down a little bit. We're going to put that in B tier as well. I wanted to put that in A tier, but you can see here there's gapping in the scales. The milling on the steel is not that well done. It's a little bit rough. B tier. Great knife, though. I do love that design. Okay, let's go here next. This is a Rough Rider Cub. Little tiny knife. you can get basically a 3-finger grip on here, kind of more of a 2.5-finger grip. But for a little tiny knife like this, that's a lot of ergos. That's a lot of real estate. You know, this is a Rough Rider. There's nothing fancy in the materials. 440A blade. I can't remember what this handle material is. Something like copper infused. We do have copper bolsters. You know, it is a little tiny backlock. I do like it when it's all folded up. This is really cool, and these are less than $10. Very useful little spear point blade, actually. I mean, this is something that you could carry and EDC if you really wanted to. I like it. I think it's really, really fun. Very affordable. I'm actually going to shock myself right here. I'm actually going to put that in A tier. I was going to put that in B tier as well. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what, though? It does everything it sets out to do. They're super collectible. You could have, you could buy a whole bunch of these. They come in all kinds of different colors and flavors. And it is actually one of the most functional, micro knives I know of. And for the price, less than $10. Yeah, I'd take that all day, any day. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in A tier. I was gonna change my mind. We're gonna put that in A tier. Yeah. I'm sticking with it. Don't regret it. A tier. Okay, now let's move on to. This is the Cold Steel Click and Cut Folder. This is actually an exchange blade knife. I do not have the other blade here right now, but I do have a serrated blade for this knife. If I can remember how to take it out. Let's see, it's right there. I've had this knife for a while. I'm actually ready to review it, but I want to put it in a series, a Cheap Knife Week series, and that hasn't happened yet. So see how far behind I am on content, guys. This knife was supposed to be out a lot. What am I missing? Why am I having trouble taking the blade out? This is not really that hard. See, this goes to show you stop carrying a knife for months and months and you forget everything about it. Anyways, it is an exchange blade knife. Making my thumb sore trying to fight with it right now. This thing is actually awesome. This is $15. And you can keep swapping the blades out back and forth. This thing's pretty awesome. And it honestly has one of the best actions of any backlock ever. And it's a triad lock. And that's something else I should bring up too. We are going to include triad locks in this list, right? Oh, it's not exactly a back lock. It's modified. It's better. Yes. But I think a triad lock is an iteration of a back lock. We're throwing triad locks on this list. I'm sure most of you are already okay with that, but there we go. Very cool knife. Super slicey. I like the exchange blade function. Basically gives you multiple knives for the price of one. Okay, let's see here. You go there and you push. Oh. You pull, you don't push. What can I say, guys? I am not a smart guy. And then just like that, it's back on. Yeah, very, very easy system. Very cool knife. Very inexpensive. A tier. A tier. I cannot wait till you guys see the review of that because that knife is so impressive. So impressive. You know what? Let's stay on the Cold Steel kick for a little bit. My newest Cold Steel. This is the Verdict. This is the Tonto version in 4116. I love a lot about this knife. Super comfortable. I mean, the ergos on this thing are absolutely amazing. Of course, Cold Steel does Tontos like no one else. This thing is absolutely wicked. The action is good. You got that triad lock, reversible clip. Very lefty friendly. A 4116 is a steel that I don't mind that much at the appropriate price. Is this knife priced appropriately? I do not think so. I see these going online for like $40 to $50. I bought mine on sale. And yeah, if the regular price on these was like $30, 25, $30, this would be one of the most recommendable knives on the planet. At $50, it's still a great knife. This is an amazing knife. Honestly, this one I'm going to be giving to one of my friends. And actually, I might not give this one to them. I might buy them a drop point version. This is a knife that I think could be someone's only knife. It's a great size, great weight, great performance, easy to maintain. That tri-lock's going to last a lifetime. But the price is a little ridiculous. And so I was going to put it in A tier. But because of the price, we're going to bump it down to B tier. And that hurts. That hurts so bad. Because I'm looking at the other knives that are here in B tier. And that knife is so much better. But at that price, there's other cold steels you can buy that are better than that one. Let's actually look at one. The Finn Wolf. These go for like $25. I don't actually think this is better than the Verdict. This is a very, very cool knife. But great ergos, Osate blade, Scandi grind, which is kind of the main selling point on this knife. I love the blue here. Reversible clip, triad lock, it's fully ambi, all the cool stuff from Cold Steel. The ergos are very, very nice. This is a knife I don't find myself carrying that much anymore. The Scandi grind is a little bit awkward and delicate for EDC tasks. Great for food prep, or great for woodcraft and stuff like that. This is a fun knife to take with you camping and things, and it is a knife that will work fine for most EDC. But I do think there's other knives out there that are better. This is one of the few knives I have that is a true straight back, though, which is kind of cool. Especially for folding knives, you don't see true straight backs that often, and you don't see Scandi ground folding knives that often either. Ooh, those things right there make this knife really cool, actually. I do love this knife, like, a lot. You know what? I am going to put it in B tier. Remember, B tier is not bad. B tier is actually very good. B tier is awesome. But maybe A tier, actually. That knife is very unique. It gets a lot of style points. And it's built well. It's priced well. For me, it's just not that intuitive to carry and use all the time. That is one of my least carried Cold Steel folders. We're going to keep it in B tier for now. That might change later, but for now, we'll keep it in B tier. For now. I might change my mind. We'll see. Okay, let's just truck through a bunch of... Actually, should we save a bunch of other Cold Steels for last? Nah, we'll truck through them right now. The Cold Steel Code 4. This knife is the epitome of a kind of jack-of-all-trades knife. You can get several different blade shapes. You can get this clip point, a spear point. You can get two different tonsils, one with serrations, one without. Very cool knife. S35VN steel. I love S35VN. I think Cold Steel does a good job with it. Aluminum scales, that triad lock. Super thin, but still built like a tank. This knife is absolutely incredible. You do have a hollow grind on this. And to me, this knife, I really enjoyed carrying this knife because I would carry it when I was going back and forth between college and ranching. And this knife was slim and easy enough to carry around town when I was at college. And honestly, it was slicey enough to do most of my EDC tasks. Opening packages, I did a whole lot of food prep with this knife. I didn't have kitchen knives in my apartment because I just didn't. But then when I went back to the ranch, this was tough enough for, cutting down hay bales, working the irrigation ditches, things like that. It's a really, really awesome knife. And the price on these is good too. I mean, you can find these for like $90. I remember when you used to be able to find these for like $70. Nowadays, it seems like they're hovering around the $80 to $90. Every once in a while, I'll see some more selling for like $120, but $80 to $90. And I gotta say, at $90, This is an amazing deal. This is a lot of knife for 90 bucks. S35VN, aluminum, great fit and finish. That, durable triad lock. Yeah, I'll take that for 90 bucks. I'm putting the code for an S tier. That is an amazing knife. Like, if I was forced to only own one knife for the rest of my life and it was a code 4, I'd be okay. I would be A-okay. There's not much you can't do with that knife. I freaking love it. Moving on. Oh, it's going to be... Ooh. Okay. Moving on. The Recon 1. Mine is also a clip point. I wish I had the spear point version. I have used and handled the Tonto one, but the clip point is the one that stuck around in my collection. It's my personal one. This is an S35VN, which is my favorite steel. This knife is incredible. This knife is a lot more like tactical or overbuilt, hard duty focused when compared to the Code 4. This one's still heavy duty, but this one's a little more tactical. But it still is not like this knife is not going to prevent you from carrying it as your EDC. Like, this is still a completely acceptable EDC knife for just about anyone, as long as you're fine with carrying a large knife. Love the DLC coating on the blade. Love the ergos, of course, fully ambidextrous, as most cold steels are. I mean, this is a legendary knife, and this is a knife that, again, I was using a lot when I was ranching. I loved using this knife because it's a huge knife. Like, it's a big knife. That's a lot of knife. But it didn't really feel like I was carrying that much knife because it is pretty lightweight for what it is. There's no liners, just the G10. Thick slabs of G10. I'm going to put this in S tier as well. Like, I do think I like the Code 4 a little bit more than a Recon 1. It's very close. But the Recon 1 still got to go in S tier. Next up. This knife is kind of like if the Code 4 and the Recon 1 had a baby. And that is the American Lawman. And mine is actually one of the hollow ground CTS XHP versions. I have not carried this knife in a while. I haven't carried many of these knives in a while. Oh, and as I'm holding this knife, I'm like, man, I just want to go and use it. I do love the American Lawman a lot. Ah, it feels good in hand. Super lightweight. Again, this one is kind of like the Recon 1 and the Code 4 mixed. It's got like the stylings of the Recon 1, but the personality of the Code 4. And this one might even be more EDCable than the Code 4. I've had my Code 4 longer than I've had this knife. I've had this knife for years too, but... absolutely excellent. Mine's a little bit stiff right now. There we go. Man, I won't put this in my pocket. What am I carrying right today? Just got this in today. This is from North Mountain Blade Works. Kind of want to throw this in the pocket, but I'm not going to because I need to carry that knife. The American Lawman's got to be an S tier as well. I was trying to convince myself to put it in A tier, but nah, it's got to be an S. It's got to be. Oh, this is going to get boring if every single cold steel goes into S tier. Okay. The Cold Steel SR1 Lite. This is the 8CR version. I've never owned one of the S35VN versions. I would love to. Probably get one of the clip point versions. This is the Tonto. I love this knife. Absolute beast of a knife. I think these are like 60 bucks now, which is a little bit more expensive than they were when they first came out. When these first came out, they're like 50 bucks, and they're like $49.95. And for that, I mean, gosh, even still, like, you are not going to buy a tougher knife for less money than that. This thing is just absolutely ridiculous. I have jammed this thing through all kinds of things that a knife should never be jammed through. Absolutely love it. Very rectangular, but somehow this knife makes rectangular feel comfortable. It just does so much so right. One of the cold steel knives that has a reversible clip where you don't need a second clip. You use the same clip on both sides, which is kind of cool. The clip does suck, as is the case with a lot of cold steels. I guess I should mention, like, the Recon 1 clip does suck. The Code 4 clip's not bad. The American Lawman clip is better than the Recon 1. Still putting those in S tier. This knife here, man, I love this knife a lot. This one's got to be an A tier. You know, and it's just so wild. And this thing has just a ridiculously smooth action. Helped in part by them big old thumb studs. I gotta be careful closing it because this will eat a finger. But yeah, just an absolutely excellent knife. The 8CR, you know, I don't even care. Part of me was gonna put it in B tier, but no, it's too badass. It's too audacious. It's gotta go in A tier. It's got to. My hands are tied. I have no choice. All right. My Cold Steel Spartan, which, yes, is still, you know, injured. I do need to get another Spartan because I do like the Spartan a lot. This knife is crazy. Hollow ground. Austin, by the way, I love that steel from Cold Steel. I am going to get another Spartan eventually. This is not the most practical knife. I have EDC'd this. How did this happen? Go watch the review for this knife. I was chopping pecan wood, which is very, very hard wood. And this knife does not have that thick of a grind. Again, it's a hollow grind. It did chip out. You know, sometimes that happens, right? I do want to get another Spartan, but I just haven't got around to it yet. Definitely more of a self-defense knife, but just so badass and so just freaking so Cold Steel. Like, this is just so unapologetically Cold Steel. I do love the ergos. I do love the Copus handle style. Man, this knife takes me back. I love this knife. We're putting that in A tier as well. Not S tier because I don't think it is, like, for me, it's not the most practical thing. I'm not really subtracting points for the whole blade thing because, again, hollow grind against hardwood. Not really something you want to do anyways. Yeah, A tier. A tier. I'm not bumming it down any lower than that. I mean, that knife's just, it's got to be A tier. Next up. The 4MAX Scout. I freaking love this knife. This knife, man, every time I hold this knife, it takes me back to ranching, to cowboying. One of the things I used to do with this knife is when I was out building fence in the Rockies, sometimes we'd be up there at 10,000 feet, and we're walking straight up the side of this mountain, and we're having to fix fence as we go. And so a lot of times we carry a chainsaw with us, but sometimes it was just a little bit difficult to carry a chainsaw or something like that. And so a lot of times I carry this knife. And what I'd use it for is if I found a spot on the fence where the wire was sagging and it needed some more structural support, I wasn't packing T-posts with me. I wasn't packing fencing stays with me. So what I would do is I would just go find a dead tree. I'd take this, chop off a couple limbs, shape them a little bit, knock off all the bits and pieces, and then wire those suckers into the fence. Amazing knife. This is one of the biggest, but still, you know, practical knives that I know of. I really wish I still worked in an environment where it made sense for me to carry this, because this thing is just incredible. I want to get a 5MAX, probably a 5MAX Scout eventually. Probably not going to happen for a while, but this knife is absolutely amazing, and yeah, it just brings me so much happiness and so many memories. And you can get these for like $75, which is absolutely insane, absolutely insane. One of the, like, just OG hard use overbuilt knives. It's going straight to S tier. Next up, we have my 8010 Light Tonto. The ergos on the 8010 are legendary. They are to die for, and we'll talk about that later. The Tonto blade on this, I was not expecting to like as much as I did. This thing is insane. The Tonto makes this one of the very best hard use EDC knives ever. They're not that heavy. I mean, they're heavy, but they're not that heavy. It's big. It's badass. You've got that amazing Tonto that, you have a hollow grind. You've got a flat grind. This thing slices way better than a knife with this thick of a blade stock should slice. It is a drop point Tonto, so you still have excellent control over that tip. This area out here is great for scraping, prying. I just love this knife. Dimco design, of course. Almost lost a finger. Yeah. Pocket clip, right. But these knives are so good that they just... Gosh, I love cold steel, guys. Man, I love cold steel. I wish I was still like... Obviously, I'm still a cold steel fanboy, but man, I wish I was still cowboying. Using my knives out in the woods and around the ranch and all kinds of crazy situations. Man, every time I handle my cold steels, I get so freaking nostalgic. I get so like... Oh, I get those feelings. It's like, it takes me back. It takes me back. I get all choked up. I really do get emotional about that. All right. Then we have my full-on 8010. This is S35N G10. I think this knife is gorgeous. I need to clean this knife up. He's still a little bit dirty. This knife, probably one of the most comfortable folding knives that's ever been created. I love the way this feels in my hand. I think that drop point blade is sexy. I think this whole knife just looks beautiful. I would not be surprised if in the future I do end up buying a lot more of these and decking them out in titanium scales and stuff like that. But for right now, I do really appreciate the stock versions. I really do. The only thing I could complain about really is, the pocket clip. But also, I do wish they made some like stone-washed versions. Like even the 8010 Light is a satin finish, which for a work knife, sometimes you want a stonewash. And the stonewash on the Formax Scout is one of the most beautiful stonewashes ever. Like Cold Steel does an amazing stonewash. So, anyways, I digress. I love stonewashes. Where do you guys think this knife is going? It's obviously going straight to S tier. This is an absolutely legendary piece of kit. And I think it's so sexy. To be completely honest, I do think the Tonto version is a little more utilitarian and useful than the drop point version. I mean, not by that much, but I do think it is. But this version is just so sexy. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, S tier. S tier, without a doubt. And we only got one more cold steel left, so we might as well do it. Oh man, I missed it. I failed you guys. I'm sorry. Every time I bring this out, I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm like contractually obligated to slice something or chop something. We've got a bunch of dead wood over here. I wonder if I could chop this if I just hold it and chop, right? Oh, there's ants everywhere. Yeah, the Espada XL. Is it practical? No. Is this the kind of knife that you should, hand to your mother? No. Does this knife care what you think? Absolutely not. I love this knife. I think it's actually a very smart design. I have ants all over me now. I do think it's a very smart design. I think this is a well thought out knife. It's just, badass as fuck. Based on the Navajas. Super slim for what it is. This is actually technically carryable. One of my favorite things to do when I've got like friends over and stuff, and I'm like showing them my knife collections, I pull this out, I put it in my pocket. Do the wave out. It scares the shit out of a lot of people. Makes you look very cool, especially if they don't understand how it works and they think you just like, you hand them the knife and they're like, how do you open this? And I think you did that one hand, like, whoa, what are you, a ninja warrior? Basically. Yeah, this thing's an S tier knife. S tier knife. Absolutely. I want to own some of the other Espadas, but I've never got around to getting any of the other sizes. I don't even think they make the small one anymore, which is a shame. But yeah, I'd love an entire collection of Espadas. And some of the S35 yen versions with the bolsters, oh my gosh, those look so beautiful. Would I ever carry them? No, of course not. Absolutely not. What am I, insane? But I would love to own them. Love to own them. I have never reviewed the Espada XL just because it feels almost feels like heresy to give it a Gideon Stuff style review, because that knife is just on another level. It's just a god tier knife. Absolutely love that knife. S tier. 100% all the way. All right. Let's keep on going. Let's go to another Camillus knife. This is the Bushcrafter. This is an interesting knife. 12C27. I reviewed this a long time ago. I bought this knife at Sportsman's Warehouse when I first kind of started the channel. Hollow ground, drop point blade, 12C27. I think I already said that, but 12C27. Tail lock, reversible clip. Camillus actually does amazing pocket clips. These go for like 25 to 30 bucks. And I actually think these are amazing knives. Now, mine needs some work from the last time I took this out camping. I see I've got some nicks and rolls on the edge. My Carta scale is not the most high quality micarta scales out there, but they are warm in the hand. The knife is pretty comfortable. Compared to something like that 8010, it's not in the same league, but it is a very comfortable knife. I think it's a very cool knife. This is actually one of Camillus's cooler folding knives that they have in regular production right now, I think. And they do have a miniature version of this, although it's not in Sandvik. I think it's in 420 HC, which is kind of a shame, but I've been wanting to get one of those for a while to review, so maybe we'll make that happen eventually. But yeah, excellent knife. I love this knife. I think it's a very unique knife. Again, if you're fine with a two-hand close, this one does have thumb studs, so you can one-hand open it. But if you're fine with a two-hand close, I think you'll really like this knife. I've certainly enjoyed using this knife. And again, this is a knife that I've taken and used around the ranch and stuff. This is not a knife I've carried in a while, but it's a cool one. I do enjoy it quite a bit. I think it's very, very neat. And you don't often see knives like this anymore. This is a big knife. I know, we just got through a lot of cold steel, so it kind of seems small. But this is a big knife with a tail lock. Like, you don't see that all that often anymore. That was close. You can technically one-hand close it. I would not recommend doing it, though. Yeah, this is a cool knife. Honestly, again, these go for like 25, 30. Actually, they might be more expensive now. I think when I bought it was 25 to 30 bucks. Now they might be 30 to 35 or even 35 to 40. Still, I think it's a really neat knife. I think they're really good. I think I'm going to put it in B tier. I was going to go A tier, but it's lacking a little bit of the pizzazz of some of the other things in A tier. We're going to put it in B tier, right? I think B tier makes a lot of sense for that. It's a very, very good knife. I like it a whole lot. Next up, this is kind of a weird one. This is the Kaiser Slicer. And this knife, I have a video about this knife from years and years ago where I disassembled it. And when I put it back together, I forgot to put in a piece. And I was like, why didn't it go back together right? Why didn't it go back together right? And then figured out how to go back and fix it. I left that video up with all my stupidity in there because I'm an honest guy. But yeah, that was kind of fun. N690 blade on here. Remember when Kaiser used to do that? Drop point. Really, really nice pocket clip, except for the fact that it is not reversible. Great ergos, good thumb ramp, crown spine. Again, full flat grind, drop point blade. Slices amazingly well. This knife does feel just stupid good through a cut. Really nice ergos. There's a lot about this knife that I like, but the kind of, I guess, mid-mounted back lock is a little bit weird, and this knife has a half stop. And so you can't really flick it. You do have to slow roll it, and the thumb studs are a little bit sharp. There's a little bit of resistance off of there. This is not the funnest knife to manipulate, but once you get it open, once you start using it, I mean, the profile is just beautiful for EDC. The blade cuts so well. I think this is a great looking knife. I think Kaiser recently did another run of these. Maybe they made a smaller one. Maybe I'm going to have to check that out. I think this is a really cool knife. Had a lot of potential, but I do think it kind of missed out on some potential. The design itself makes me want to put this knife in A tier, but you know, that action is going to make me put it in B tier. Awesome knife, amazing knife, but we are going to put it in B tier for now. Yeah, B tier. Okay. That's all the backlocks I needed from there. Let's move on to, oh, you know what? I think we are, are we done? I think so. We only have one backlock left. That can't be right. But it is. Okay. Cool. Oh, I do know another back. Oh, it's a weird one. We'll get it here in a second. Our last backlock is the Buck 112 Ranger. This is a custom shop version that Zach had made for me with the blue G10 and S35 VN on the blade. This is a very new addition to the collection. I've had it for about a month at this point. I've been carrying it a lot. In fact, we've got smuts and nasty stuff on there. This is the grooved handles version. I freaking love this knife. I freaking love this knife. I have been getting a huge kick out of using this knife. It feels so nostalgic. It's so simple. It's so clean. But we have that modern performance. We've got the, the specialness of the fact this was given to me by Zach. He had it custom made for me. I do like this knife a lot. There's just something about carrying a buck that feels good. Now, I've owned a couple of different bucks in the past. I used to own a Buck 112 Slim, 110 Slim Pro. I gave it to my dad. He loves it. He carries it all the time. I saw my parents last weekend. I was up there again for my brother's graduation. You guys know, because I said that in the other video. My dad's still carrying that knife. But I have never really resonated with Buck until this knife. And yeah, this knife's an absolute winner. I love this knife. S tier. S tier knife. Made in the USA. I think that was the only USA made knife that we had this round. Yeah. And that's going to be it for back. Oh, nope. Nope. I forgot my weird one. We'll go get it. All right. This is a really weird one. This one was in my truck. I'm not sure I should include this one. It's technically a backlock, though, that I own. So we're going to include it. Gideon, I hear you say. That's a gosh damn axe. Yes, but also... Oh, I forgot. You have to push the backlock. Push the backlock. And then you can fold out a saw. This is the Camillus Camtrax. I have reviewed this. We do have a full video up about this on the channel. I hate this thing. This is a terrible, terrible tool. But it is technically a backlocking blade. So here it is on the video. And you know what? I was going to say, wow. We started off the backlock video with a bunch of just horrible, crappy knives. At least we can finish with nothing lower than a C. This is going to be lower than a C. Do I put this in F tier? I'm not going to put it in F tier because there was effort put into this. And you can technically use it for some of the things that it's intended to be used for. It just doesn't do any of those things better than a dedicated hatchet or saw does. This is going in D tier. This is not a good tool. This is not a good tool. Why do I still keep it in my truck? I don't know, because again, it's better than nothing, I guess. Although I do have a bunch of tools in my truck, so I really don't need to keep this around. But I keep it because I'm an idiot. D tier. And that's where I wrap it up. That is every single backlock I own ranked. Tell me what you guys think of my ranking. Do you agree with any of them? Disagree with any of them? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'd love to hear what are your guys' favorite backlock knives. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up. Big shout out to my channel members at the Cowboy level. I appreciate everything they do for the channel. If you want to become a member and support me directly, there's a link down below. As for the rest of you hooligans, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below, and subscribe. Until next time, I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.